we're here for the 6th annual Keith Bernanke Memorial Cup, a matchup between the Warriors of Brother Rice and the Seaholm Maple.
We feel a real desire for sports broadcast even at the high school level locally. We regularly broadcast sports matchups between Seaholm High School and Groves High School. And this was an opportunity to allow students aged 14 to 18 from all 6 communities we serve the opportunity to come learn how we do that. We're in the midst of a 2-week course with 7 students who have been training at the Bloomfield Community Television Studio in advance of going for a pre-production meeting on a Monday to scout and set up our production at Seaholm High School. And then on Tuesday, we're going to be covering the 6th annual Keith Bernanke Cup at Seaholm High School. It's an annual tradition where Seaholm High School plays Brother Rice, and these students are going to be key in the production, running the cameras, calling the game, working the technical side inside the truck. The students will be working under the supervision of BCTV staff, so it's professionals guiding beginners to do a real broadcast of a real game that will air on our channel, be on our YouTube station, and all our other video on-demand platforms. Every kid's getting a chance to sit with Ryan Woolley and learn how to do play-by-play and color commentary, as well as sideline reporting and player and coach interviews.
One of my main jobs, and I have a lot of jobs, but one of my main jobs is I'm one of the public address announcers for the Detroit Tigers. I like what we have right now as far as how we're doing it, because I'm putting a soccer game on TV and we have it muted, and you're doing play-by-play, like you're doing a mock call as if you're there. I'm teaching them how to do an open. I'm teaching them how to bring in their color commentary. I'm teaching them how to pitch it to a sideline and do a sideline report, and then in that report, and send it back to the booth. In this industry, everybody thinks broadcasting is on air, and that's not the case. There's so many roles you can do. So you can be on air, you can be a producer, an editor, you can do camera, you can coil cables.
We're getting the kids in the truck with Steve Rhoda, learning how to run a replay machine, technical direct, engineer the cameras, and then everybody's been working with me and Lily to get a feel for how to assemble a camera, all the pieces that come with it, and then how to teach the camera basics of working with a long zoom lens.
Originally, we have different sessions that go on throughout the day. We give them the basics of how to operate that stuff with nothing even happening, how to set up a camera, focus, zoom in, follow stuff. And you have to practice and you get better. Some have that natural ability and some don't, but eventually most people will get there if they keep practicing. Sometimes it's not going to come to you the first time you hop on a camera or the first time you do replay. You got to constantly do it over and over and over, and the more times you do it, the better you get. I like having the variety of stuff to offer them and let them try it all. And then eventually, at some point, they might like something better than what they did when they first got here.
Something that I didn't expect to do as part of training these kids on camera so much is it became very apparent that they needed movement and actions to follow to train them on panning, tilting, zooming. They need something to follow. So I've actually been very active every day out here, throwing footballs, playing cornhole, getting them prepped for our mock cornhole games that they're doing at the end of every day.
There's no I in team, is that what they normally say? So yes, the great help in behind the scenes that we have, our staff members have been helping out, it's been great. We have the cornhole station, a putting green, and then just having Greg and James throwing a ball, getting that movement.
You know, I wasn't really sure what to expect working with Gen Z because I don't do that a lot in my professional career, but I have to say they've all been extremely professional. They take great direction, they're well-mannered, they say yes sir, yes Mr. Black. Just a really positive experience working with these kids. The future seems really bright for everyone.
You don't want to be serious all the time because then it just doesn't make the job fun or the game fun anymore. So there are times you get goofy and then eventually you're going to have to zone them in a little, reel them in and say, okay guys, it's time to focus.
They'll all reel it in and they'll listen, and that's what makes a good teammate as well, somebody that's willing to listen when you actually give them directions.
This group is a great group, so let them have fun, and when it's time to get a little more serious, all you gotta do is say something to them and they get serious.
I expect it to be more of like kind of like a generic just camp, where it's like, it just kind of feels like you're like a little kid, but this is a lot more kind of hands-on, and there's a lot more trust in me than other day camps.
We do get a lot of hands-on work, which is surprising compared to other camps like this. If you were to go anywhere else, it would be just a lot of watching and rather be doing. We got into physical manual work the first day.
The adults here and the teachers, they treat us not as we're little kids, but more of the sense that we are workers and that we are one of them. It's enjoyable because you know that you're not being looked down upon.
We're sort of seen more as amateurs, not like kids, which is, better.
It's gotten me more excited for just the broadcasting industry and just to work in it, because there's so many behind the scenes parts that I didn't know went into it. Like there's the camera setting, there's the production, there's the announcing. It takes a full village to make it happen.
I really like, all the hands-on stuff, which is exactly what they do here, and which is part of the reason I love it.
I like working in the truck. Replay is really cool, technical director is really cool, but I also do like play-by-play.
I like announcing and sideline, but I kind of like doing the replay.
Yeah, I think I'm, a lot more confident with speaking in front of a camera, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, meeting new people. I think that's something that I've really learned.
I was a little hesitant at first because I was like, I have zero experience. I'm going into my senior year, so it's kind of like starting to figure out what I want to do with my life. And one of my interests in career-wise have been broadcast. Favorite thing that I've learned is probably color commentating or sidelines and, technical directing. I like being in the truck, specifically like switching. I think that's really cool. It definitely does feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself, getting to know these people that I don't know, but we're all coming together because we have a common interest in wanting to get better at this craft.
Well, I can tell you as a high school student, I would have loved to have this. When they told me about the camp, it was like, I want to give to them something I never had 20 plus years ago. And dare I say, by the end of week one, everybody was like a family. People are joking around, they're sitting together, we're talking about what they did the night before. Some kids are talking about how they went home and took a nap because they were tired. Other kids are talking about, no, I couldn't wait to come back. So it's just cool to see them grow and blossom into potential broadcasters.
Made friends pretty fast, actually. I mean, it's only day 4. We've built so many meaningful connections with kids our age, and it's amazing to just see how easy it is to connect with people.
One of the primary objectives of community media should be for studios like ours to become gathering spaces for the community, to train them, to educate them on the work that we do, how to operate with cameras, how to do productions themselves. And that's transcending just the old school traditional model of a 3-camera setup in a studio. That means working with training the community how to do better with their prosumer products that they have widely available to them, like iPhones, GoPros, etc. Furthermore, these kids have an opportunity in high school to get a lot more training than was even available to me when I was in high school some time ago. Working with professionals in a group setting atmosphere is going to pass on a lot of really priceless knowledge to them especially if they choose to pursue this as a career.
I hope that they continue to do this, even just for people who are, coming up in the years ahead.
If this is something you're passionate about, or if it's just like a small little hobby, or something you want to just try out, I'd say this is definitely a great start.
I think it was an awesome success. By seeing the smiles on the kids' faces, I believe it was an awesome success.